Now, you might have seen the headlines today surrounding former Love Island star and influencer Molly-Mae Hague. She's taken a bit of heat about some comments she made in an interview about how she got to where she is today. So, people are now comparing her to Margaret Thatcher in some headlines today. But was she wrong to suggest that even if you've come from a rich background, if you want something enough, you can achieve it? Where do you stand with it, Sandra?
I think, you know what? If that was any relative of ours, a 23-year-old girl, speaking up and saying, you can do anything, you can be anyone, we'd be so proud to hear, you know, this is the next generation of women coming up, trying to promote to other people, whichever background they're from, that you can do it. So I feel like the message she's giving is great, and it's actually exactly where we want young women to be. The problem is she's got 6 million followers and she's got YouTube platforms where, you know, she's got more reach than TV channels, you know, so she's got people listening that will take offence where she doesn't mean to make anyone feel offended.
But she hasn't got that. She hasn't got those followers and all those other things that she's got because she's from a privileged background.
No.
That's not... This is what she's getting the heat for, because people are saying, well, you know, you're from a privileged background, you've got what I haven't got and I should be able to have it, but I can't have it because I'm from a poor background, which is absolute nonsense. Because there are so many people that we know that come from nothing, I mean, proper poverty, and have made, you know, something of themselves because they've worked hard, and that's all it takes. It just takes work. The problem with this, with her, I think, the big problem is, because she does what she does, which is, I'm not doubting that she works hard, but it's not a proper job. It is...
in the old sense of what a proper job is.
Exactly, the old sense, you're right.
So I disagree about that.
But it's very, very well paid. No, I'm saying it's hard work, but it's well paid, but it's not a real job, and it's very glamorous. And the thing is, a lot of kids now think, that's what I want, and nothing else will do. And if they can't make it, it's like, well, let's take it out on someone who has made it. And that's wrong.
I think it's misunderstood. So it's portrayed as a glamorous job, and that's her job to make it look effortless and glamorous. But it's very production heavy. So she's wearing lots of different hats. She's an editor, she's a copywriter, she's a director, she's a stylist, and she's talent. And actually, it's a very difficult job. And I think, to put it into context, that's an hour's interview, and, you know, a few lines have been taken out that we've seen. We haven't heard what else she said. And I think the trouble is she's early 20s and she's not really articulated what she was trying to say, possibly in the best way. And it's a very sensitive time. You know, there's some incredible key workers out there who are working themselves into the ground to keep the country going, and people feel, rightly so, sensitive and wounded at the moment. So if she'd have said this a couple of years ago, I think it would have been received differently. Yeah. So, you know, I do want to defend her to a certain extent, but I think the timing was possibly bad.
We did have a statement from Molly-Mae's reps, and it said, if you listen to the full conversation and interview, Molly was asked about how the nature of her potential grows and how she believes in herself. Molly is not commenting on anyone else's life or personal situation. She can only speak of her own experience, which is, you know, exactly what you're saying. Equally, so a lot of people have gone down the reality route, which she has done, and really struggled actually off the back of it. Yeah, and it's absolutely not. You're thrust into this world that's actually really quite intense.
Yeah, what's the longevity? You know, you might be, you know, flavour of the month for a couple of years, and then what do? You know, what's your backup plan if you can't be an influencer anymore, or if your influences aren't working?
But we were talking to Ellie earlier. I mean, she's a perfect example of that. You can do it, and if you want to do it, you just need to get up off your bum and do it. And I know things are hard now, but, you know, a lot of people are not working because they're testing themselves and taking time off. And, you know, people, if they want something, we all know we've all had to work hard to get where we are. We might not work that hard now.
In this very moment.
but I'm old. I've worked really hard for about 20 years longer than you have.